Hello everybody, welcome to the ITL. Let's start this week off with actually an apology from me to you guys. I'm sorry about the rant last week. I mean, sometimes I just got to get it out there because sometimes things just, things will get on your nerves, but just come out of the clear blue and just irk you. And that was one of them. But I didn't mean it against anybody in particular, basically a group of people. And I really didn't know if I really should have left it in there because I know on the video, recording of the video, I just went off on a tangent a little bit, and yeah, it was like after watching the video while I was editing it, I was like, wow, should I leave this in there or should I not? But I took the chance and left it in there, and yeah, I did lose a few subscribers over it. But if that's what's going to take to lose a subscriber too, I don't really need them in my eyes, even though I'm looking to get more subscribers to get this channel to grow a little bit larger, be able to support itself a little bit. But yeah, it is what it is, and I apologize for it. Maybe I shouldn't have done it. I used to do a lot of rant videos in the past, which I tend not to do that anymore. I got really negative kind of thinking, and I try not to do that. It's not worth my blood pressure, my life, and all that. And it's not something, it's not enjoyable to watch anyway, really. Not in my eyes. But let's just talk about this week. This week actually was a pretty good week in my eyes. Not for the country in a way, but I try not to get too political. But yes, the government is still shut down as far as I know. People are blaming Trump. I'm like, no, it's not totally Trump's fault. It's a combination of Trump's and the House, which is ran by Democrats. So it's like you got to put the blame on both of them. But am I for or against with Trump? That's for me to. You can figure it out really easily. I really think that we need a border mall built, and that way we got more and more places. As a bigger place to actually go out and buy things, border mall. Yeah, I'm planning on going across to Ohio whenever they do get it built, pick up Gopro, pick up T, and we'll go on down and do some shopping down at the border mall. I kind of hope it's a mall and not just a wall. But anyway, I digress on that one. Just a little bit of poking fun at it. But anyway, yes, I do agree with what we do need a wall for our border. It should not be necessary, but it is, yeah, in my eyes. And that's just my thoughts, my opinions. It goes back to what my rant last week, actually, in a way. Because, myself, I can agree to disagree and move on. It's just I was ranting about the people that really can't. They're so stuck on things that they just can't agree to disagree, And yeah, well, let's move on to get off of this little tangent of political in my rant from last week. Right here, you can't see it too much. It's been here for a month now, maybe a little bit longer. Is actually the cart that I was changing over to be a welder cart from being a pressure washer. And except for the final touch-up, cleanup, and primer and paint, it's done. It's usable. I finished it off this last week. I finished the welding, and if you look at it, you're like, well, it ain't much. Well, it is whenever you're trying to learn this particular type of welder. And like Navy Thomas 8, I'll throw in names for my friends whenever I can. I've talked about Navy Thomas 8 a lot in my past videos, but like Navy Thomas 8 commented last week about MIG welding. That's all you really need in a garage like this, is a MIG welder. And yeah, I do agree with that. This is, well, you could consider it kind of like a MIG welder, but it's not. MIG welder uses a gas. This doesn't use gas. This uses a flux inside the core of the filler metal, the wire. But it's a much dirtier weld, I'll say. It splatters all over the place, especially whenever you're using the cheap welding wire, which this came with, and that's what I'm trying to use up and learn off of. Probably was a better idea for me to put this wire up and get better wire for it. But I figured go ahead and use what I got. But it came out, it worked. It's all welded solid. I used the hammer to test it out and make sure the welds ain't gonna break on me anytime too soon. And it's ugly. It is ugly welds. I mean, they're nasty ugly welds. But it works. It'll work for me. And that's basically all I really need. I mean, I'm not looking for anything to weld structural things up. Just to hold things up. Like, I mean, whenever I go repair my garage, my lawnmower deck or something like that, you know, or even exhaust pipes, it'll work for that. It'll sit on the lower setting so you don't burn through, but it'll work. But yeah, I got it all done. All it needs is done is paint, clean up a little bit, and a primer and a paint. And actually, I'm thinking about actually it started out being yellow to start with the pressure washer. I might keep it yellow and just primer and paint it yellow in the spots I need to, and try to match the yellow best I can. That way, it'll be less to work. I mean, it's a tool for the garage. I just don't want it rusting away to bits and pieces on me. I really don't want something that's totally ugly looking in the garage either. But it's just a tool. I'm not here to show it off. It's just something I did was my first welding, actually learning how to weld. And I got a little bit professional at it, but not, it still looks like crap. But yes, it is what it is. And I really say this welding helmet right here, this is the $20 welding helmet. It does excellent for me. I did end up getting a respirator, which I don't have on hand here. You really, using this welding, if you're going to do it inside, especially, I mean, you can have the fans on and everything else, but you really should have a respirator on also, so you don't breathe in the fumes from it, because it puts a lot of smoke and fumes up. There's a siren going on outside. It's driving me nuts. I'll talk a little bit about that. But anyway, you should have some sort of respirator to help keep that dust and everything out of your lungs. And also, I've noticed I do have a reaction to it with my eyes. My eyes will burn for a little while and get scratchy. Now, it doesn't cause anything wrong with it. They just feel scratchy, like they're irritated. Just flush them out real good, and I'm on my way. But it's just a little bit of warning. People might get that. You know, they might get that. Well, let's change on to another subject real quick. Earlier this week, actually, my area had tornadoes. It came from through Ohio. It was like 50-something degrees that day. It went from like in the 30s up to 50, like really quick. And it kicked off tornadoes. My immediate area was safe. I mean, going up north and a little bit to the east a little bit. From the north to a little bit east a little bit. But it scavenged it went around. But we had a tornado in the wintertime. Not normal in my area. Not normal in my area. But it kicked off they kicked off our tornado sirens, which are actually air raid sirens from back in the day. But they're tornado sirens for us. They actually used to use it like Fox's area. They used to use them for curfew. They no longer use them now. I guess it's cost of money to shut them off every night. But my area, I mean, it is what it is. If I get into that, it'll be another rant, and I really don't want that. But yeah. Oh, just to touch a little bit on the ham radio thing. One cool thing, I mentioned last week that I was able to get to 13.6 miles out and hit a repeater of that. And actually, that repeater was kind of cool Wednesday. This last Wednesday. I turned it on in the morning. I always normally have it running all night long. And so whenever I wake up, I can, hear it and stuff. As far as monitoring. And Wednesday, she was able to join what they called a breakfast net. And where it seems like it was a small club up north that would put on a breakfast net through the repeater. And they were talking back and forth. And they were nice and let me in. And actually, I was surprised that they said, they compared me to one other guy who was talking on there. And I mean, if it's true, I mean, I came in through pretty good. At 13.6 miles. So I'm like, cool. I just figured I'd give you a little heads up of my what I'm learning and experience with that. And I was just with that tall wire antenna inside my aluminum sided house. I don't know, if I'd been outside, it'd probably been better. But I mean, with this winter weather, that's not going to happen too soon. In fact, I just shut my heater off just to get. I mean, it was freezing in here. And just to warm the space up, and you probably, I don't know if the camera's picking up my breath, but it's getting chilly again already. That's another thing surprised the bejeebies out of me, man. I went down to get fuel for my torpedo heater. My torpedo heater is a multi-fueled heater. I mean, it will take jet fuel, it'll take kerosene, it'll take home heating fuel, it'll take diesel. And with me, it's like, well, okay, whenever it comes time to get fuel for it, which it needed, actually, I just filled it up. It needed it, so I was like, well, I'll go out and get a couple gallons in it. That normally lasts me a month, and for what I use for, and that'll be good. And I'll just find out what's cheaper. And always, diesel was always supposed to be more expensive because you pay road tax for it. I mean, you figure out kerosene, diesel, home heating fuel. Well, actually, home heating fuel and diesel, they mark the home heating fuel with a dye. That way people don't buy it because it was cheaper than diesel to run on the roads. The diesel you pay for road taxes. Home heating fuel you don't. But I priced around a little bit. And between kerosene and home heating fuel, I'm buying diesel between 60 and 80 cents a gallon cheaper. And that's with paying the road taxes. Like, this is insane. This is insane. It makes no sense to me, but whatever. I mean, I burn whatever will burn in my torpedo heater. It doesn't bother me. I mean, yes, diesel is a little bit dirtier, not much. Whenever it first kicks on, you can smell a little bit more. But after a little while, it goes away and you're fine. But you do got to, with these torpedo heaters, you got to do what's carbon monoxide in the garage, especially a small garage like this, because that's actually oversized for this area. So that's why I have a carbon monoxide, which you can see it's over on this wall over this way, and one over on this wall. It's actually it's overdid. One carbon monoxide detector should do the trick. I've got two. One runs off of batteries, and the other one runs off of the electric for the garage. I figured if the electric goes down in the garage, and I'm running heat off of, say, auxiliary power, I always got the other carbon monoxide detector to make sure I don't die in this garage. And I mean, you always got to take precautions. And I'm going to move on really quick here and change gears really quick, because I don't know what the time is on this thing. But Ron C, he actually made a video posted today. This really dates it for Ron C. About putting heated grips on his KLR 650. And I'll tell you, I said, heated grips, if you don't have heated grips on a KLR and you want to ride in a little bit cooler weather, they are a lifesaver. They're not hard to put on. I have a cheaper Chinese set, and actually, I put them on like 2 years ago, and I lost one side because, I mean, with the weather, I do ride a lot of weather with the Goat. Different weather, water, and stuff, and the switch probably went bad on it. I still have the right side, but the left side went out. So I got to change out the heated grips again. It's been 2-3 years since I put it on. For the money I paid for it, it's no shame in my eyes, and they're not hard to change. But they're a lifesaver, man. They're a lifesaver. He did show in his video that some cool stickers he's making up. I have thought about doing stickers for my channel. The problem is the channel is not making any revenue right now, and I'm not in a spot where I can actually put money into revenue into it to make the stickers, or I would make spam cards and stickers. As a matter of fact, the spam cards that I do have, they're not all they are cardboard stock that I printed out with my own printer, and I only do a few at a time. That way I have something to give out to everybody, and I don't even have any right now to even give out. And I mean, it's just not making a revenue at all for me, so I have to put monies into the channel and other places, like, you know, audio equipment and stuff like that. But I'm expecting to eventually be getting some sort of stickers and also spam cards made up for the channel. I don't really foresee doing any of merchandise or anything like some other channels do. I really don't want to get into that. That's not my channel where I want it. I want my channel to be personable. I want my channel to be able to be like, you're coming into my garage, we're having a chat, and we're just relaxing and enjoying it. I don't want the side stuff to come in and garble everything up. I mean, it comes into more of a business. It's not as enjoyable to shoot these videos for you guys. Right now, I mean, sadly, I'm not riding for a while in the snows. We got hit pretty decently, and the ice is horrendous. The snow wouldn't be a big deal. It's the ice that bothers me. And but I do have, hopefully we'll get some videos made, some products I might be getting in, and we'll be able to show you for that. But I mean, I'm not going big in with the product. I mean, I'm just buying product as I need it. Like the goat needs the riding lights replaced, the one side's out. As I need it, will get replaced. Okay. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I really apologize for the rant last week. Sometimes you just gotta let it out, and I did it. I used to put out some really, really bad rant videos back in the day, but I mean, the one video was just nothing but a rant, and there was so much cussing and swearing in that video that I went off on somebody, and I just try not to ever do that again. It's just not good. Even though it got a lot of views, it wasn't good for me. But yeah. Now to slow down and relax. I hope you all had a great week. I had a good week. I mean, I really did. I got a couple things done out of the road, off the list a little bit. Even though this needs painted and primered, it's usable. It's not going to go anywhere. But yeah, I got things starting to roll again. This is MuzzleMike, hoping you all have a great week. Signing out. 73, guys. 73s.